In these recent weeks, we've heard how hordes of people have been following Jesus as he taught in parables and healed their sick. Jesus' need to get away is understandable, even relatable. But what I think might be difficult for any of us to imagine is that Jesus has just heard his cousin John has been beheaded. It's not exhaustion that causes Jesus to want to get away to a deserted place by himself. It's his overwhelming grief and his deep, deep anguish. Most of us, I think, have experienced a time when we've received the unexpected news that a loved one or a close and dear friend has died. We know how difficult it can be to accept the death, and sometimes even hard to imagine or to believe what we're hearing. Our shell-shocked brains can't process what our ears are hearing, but having to come to terms with the death of a loved one that is the result of horrific violence is, for most of us, simply unimaginable. That's how this scene unfolds in today's gospel. After hearing John has been beheaded, Jesus gets in a boat to get away by himself to a deserted place. But crowds follow him. So when Jesus goes ashore, what does the good teacher and the healer do? He puts aside his desire to withdraw to a deserted place, his need for solitude, and his own grief, because he sees the crowds and he has compassion for them, and he cures their sick. Now, this is where I think the story gets even more interesting, and certainly even more relatable. As evening approaches, the disciples ask Jesus to send the crowd away because they're in a deserted place, and it's getting late, and these people are going to want to be fed. But Jesus said, "You give them something to eat." Surely Jesus is aware of how many hungry people there are, and the disciples know how few provisions they have: 2 fish and 5 loaves. Hardly enough to feed the disciples and Jesus, let alone the crowd of 5,000 men plus women and children. 5 loaves and 2 fish. Hardly enough. And yet Jesus takes what little they have, he looks toward heaven, blesses and breaks the bread, and miraculously there's enough to feed everyone. And not just enough, more than enough. An abundance so great, they collected 12 baskets full of leftovers after everyone had eaten and had their fill. I suspect there are times when some of us feel like we simply don't have enough. And I don't necessarily mean enough food to share. What I mean is we don't feel like we are enough. Sure, we may have bread to share, but I know there are some of us who feel like we don't have enough when it comes to having gifts to share. We begin to doubt our worthiness, and we wonder, what do I have to offer? Like the disciples, our eyes are blind to see the potential of how 2 measly fish and 5 loaves of bread could possibly be enough. And yet Jesus saw the same 5 loaves and 2 fish, and Jesus instinctively knew that they're not only enough, they're more than enough. Jesus was not just challenging his first disciples. Jesus was also speaking to you and to me. You give them something to eat. When it comes to following Jesus, he wants us to be all in, with a willingness to share freely the gifts we've been given. So if you start to doubt your own worthiness, I want you to listen closely for that still small voice whispering in your ear. Imagine Jesus saying, "Trust me, you are enough, more than enough. Together we are enough." So let us open our eyes to see the possibilities that lay before us as we move forward in ministry together. Let us use our hands and our feet and voices to live into the very heart of God. Let us give thanks to God for the abundant gifts we've been given, both individually and collectively. And let us share these gifts to the glory of God. Let us invite friends and strangers to come to the Lord's table and to be fed with the bread of life and drink from the cup of salvation and experience the freedom that comes with forgiveness. Let us be raised up from the living waters and live into the abundant life, the new life that God desires for us and for all of creation. And never, ever think that you are not enough. Remember, you are created in the image of God. You are a beloved child of God. You are enough, more than enough. Thanks be to God.